Happy to be here. Glad you're all here today. And I can't believe it's a year already since the last. But we are Eco-Friendly LLC. We are the fuel maker distributor for the state of Pennsylvania. We handle the western part of the state. The central and eastern part of the state is handled by a division that I set up out in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So on our website, if you know anybody out that way, they handle the central and eastern side. Their fuel making products have been on the market for well over 30 years. Well over 50,000 of them used worldwide, from the Arctic Circle to wherever. I mean, they're across Europe and across South America. They're used in any kind of small or medium-sized fleet, or as small as the home unit. And the community college has the home unit, the fill unit, and when you go back out into the garage, it's hanging on the wall. They just installed it. That unit was actually the unit I had in my home fueling our Honda Civic. And we're increasing the size, and I'm setting up a truck, so we're going to go to the next bigger unit, which I have a display out there for that one also. So we can pretty much handle any small, medium, or large fleets, all different sizes of compressors, from that smallest one all the way up to station size compressor. What I wanted to do was something a little different today. Part of the niche of our business is Pennsylvania has private gas wells, thousands of them, over 50,000. And our units are warranted on installs on private wells. And I thought that was a little different because nobody else, I think, gets involved with doing that. And I brought pictures of one we did up in Rural Valley. The gentleman that owns this system built the building so he could pull his new Ford F-350 inside. The unit itself is the one I have on display out here. It's a FMQ236, and it flows at the rate of a gallon an hour, time fills. You can put one or two hoses on it. You can fill two vehicles, but it will split the flow at that point. It's just a picture of the nozzle. What we did in his instance, because it was a private gas well, we checked the moisture level of the gas that's coming out of the well. It's different than the delivered gas. Delivered gas is supposed to be at a set low moisture level. But the moisture level coming out of this well was upwards of 100 pounds of moisture per million cubic feet. So we custom designed a dual stage dryer that would strip the moisture out in the first stage and then completely take it out down to level 2 with the second stage. And what happens is the gas comes in, we have a cleanup filter, go into a drying, this is a strip dryer, then it goes into the second dryer, which is an absorption molecular sieve dryer, and then back into another filter to pick up any dust, put a regulator on it into the unit. So you can install these on anybody you know that has a private gas well that wants to, and in most cases they're not paying for the gas. They have an agreement with their oil or gas companies that put the well in that they get 100, 200, unlimited use of cubic feet of gas. So in a lot of cases, these are no-brainers. They buy a truck, set this system up. Other than paying the state tax, on the cost of the desiccant, they're driving for 50, 60, 70 cents a gallon. Just different views of the same dryer. That's the cleanup filter to take any dust. That's a 3-micron filter on the output side of the dryer. Going into a regulator to control it down to the inlet pressure of, say, 3 pounds, 2 or 3 pounds. That's a shot of the inside of the compressor. The compressor itself is modular. There's 3 components. That's the compressor head. Below it is the compression module, and then there's an electronics module. So the unit's warranted for 2 years, 2,000 hours, full replacement, full labor. At that point in time, it may go 4,000 hours, it may go 5,000 hours, which is equivalent to 5,000 gallons. At that point, we can come out in less than 20 minutes, change that compressor head, and you're back in business again. That's just a picture of electronics module that gets changed again. A few minutes, that can be changed if there's a problem. That is another system we did. This one is on the former chairman of the EQT Corporation. It's in his private home. So he's fueling an HT3 Alpha 100 off of one of our units. Just another shot of it. We put a dryer in there for the same reason. The moisture level coming into his house, even though the delivered gas was up around 12 pounds per million. So we had to bring that down. Otherwise, you'd have to go. And then we ran a line, high pressure line down to a dispensing unit that he's down here in his driveway. And he can fuel, hook up his Hummer and fuel it every night or every other night. That's just a picture of it. That isn't the Hummer, that's his own, that's a picture of vehicle he uses on the property. But he can park down there, he can park into that, moving underneath that area and fuel the vehicle. That's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions?
What's the maintenance, on a regular maintenance schedule, or what's the cost to maintain that?
That's one of the nice things about the Fuelmaker product. They're air cooled. They're not oil lubricated. They're air cooled. There really isn't any maintenance. They're plug and play. Put them in. The big thing is to make sure the gas is dry. We manufacture our own line of dryers. That's almost a custom dryer. Well, but we sell a single tower dryer. We sell all those all over the country. Probably sold over 100 of them last year. That's the big thing. Get the gas dry. But the maintenance on the unit, other than when the time comes to where you get a compressor, everything wears out. So 3 years down the road, if you hit 5,000 hours or 5,000 hours, which is equivalent to 4,000 or 5,000 gallons on that unit. You just put a new head unit in. That head unit runs about 1,500 installed. So the system with the dryer and the unit, you're looking at probably around 10 grand installed. We tell people figure in one change, and then take that 8,000 or 8,000 gallons, figure out your life, and see what your return is.
What's the rate of, how fast, what was it per gallon per hour?
It's that unit is 1 gallon per hour. There's other equipment, bigger ones, that's 4 gallons an hour and then up from there. But the 4 gallon an hour unit is strictly a commercial unit, has to be on a commercial site. All the units are designated as appliances. They're approved as appliances by the American Gas Station. So they can go in a home. I've never had a code problem.
No permitting required then. Special permitting required.
I've always called the folks and say, because I've owned a construction company for a long time, so I know a lot of the people in that business, and I call them and say, hey, I'm doing this. A lot of them are like, what are you doing? And once we get into it, and I tell them it's a gas appliance, the same as a range, it's not an issue. Other than distances to property lines, which is normal stuff. You know, you have that with them. Even if you put a shed in your backyard, you got to turn around, have 10, 40, 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have both Dan and Matt Good with PC McKenzie Corporation. They're going to speak to us today a little bit about CNG infrastructure. Turn you over to them.
My name's Dan Good, and I take care of the parts, and I'm in sales for our company, PC McKenzie Company, and I'm the older twin.
I'm Matt Good. I take care of sales and all the warranty work through our compressors. I'm 23 minutes younger than Dan is. Just a little background on each of us. What we do is we are Ingersoll Rand's master distributors for their entire CNG product line worldwide. We do all the final assembly work in Bridgeville. We offer 4 different compressor models, and we'll walk you through those as we go. This is a picture of one of our sites in Tallahassee, Florida. This is in Leon County School District. They fill their buses up with our compressors. We put in 3 of our compressor packages there, and they have fill post assemblies out in the parking lot, which they hook their buses up to overnight when we sit. We offer a 05H25NG SX, which is takes 5-pound inlet pressure from the street transmission line. And compresses that up to 5,000 psi and does that at around 28 standard cubic feet a minute. And it has 125 horsepower motor on it, which is hooked up to dual voltage 463 phase or 234. We offer that package in a duplex model. Obviously, you're doubling your standard cubic feet to 56. 2 horsepower motors, but customers like that because of the redundancy. School district bought duplex units because if they needed to work on a compressor for maintenance, they weren't down completely for fueling. They could continue fueling, but in twice the time because you're cutting your compression in half. We have a larger unit which takes 20-pound inlet pressure. That is one 40 horsepower motor, and that will do 58 standard cubic feet a minute. That's in Rancho Cucamonga. And then our largest unit that we have on the Ingersoll Rand side is a duplex 40. Does 116 standard cubic feet a minute, which is just a little under a gallon a minute conversion rate. 125 is your standard for a gasoline gallon equivalent. 130 standard cubic feet is for your diesel gallon equivalent. And this is, again, more of the site from Leon County.
Now we're going to talk about the advantages of our packaging. Number one, we stock all the parts for our compressors in Bridgeville. It's simple. There's 3 connections in the field. You got the electricity, inlet, and discharge. They're modular in design. Our packages come on a skid with forklift holes, so you can move them by forklift. And they're versatile. They're air-cooled machines, and we have them in Barrow, Alaska, and Arizona. So the freezing cold or the high-intensity heat won't affect these units. We're also involved in right now bringing on a bigger unit called Sour. For the Sour units, they're direct drive instead of the belt drive for the Ingersoll Rand units. They take a 5-pound inlet. They have one 75 horsepower motor, and it's a little bit bigger at 93 standard cubic feet a minute. And as you can see, with the duplex model, it will give you 186 standard cubic feet a minute.
We'd like to say thank you for your time, and if you have questions, please stop over to our booth. We'll be glad to talk to you about anything you have questions about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Cheyenne, I'd like to welcome you to the 4th annual Odyssey Day event. Pennsylvania Senator Tim Subtlebay is here with us. And can you just kind of explain to us a little bit about what EcoCar and EcoCar program is about?
Okay, well, EcoCar 2 is a 3-year North American engineering competition, and it challenges students from 15 universities, and it's in U.S. and Canada, so there's 2 schools in Canada. And what they're doing is they're taking a 2013 Chevy Malibu, which is right there, and we get it just as a normal stock vehicle. We take everything out, and we implement design tools that the engineers come up with, and they implement all that into the vehicle to make it a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, which is our architecture this year. So the main goal, of course, is to reduce the emissions and improve the fuel economy, but at the same time, we're really trying to educate a lot of the future engineers and people in the STEM fields, especially the younger generation. We visit a lot of middle schools and elementary schools, but we hope that they get jobs upon graduation. Sam here is actually an alumni. He's back visiting, and he works at General Motors now. So that's what we want to see, and we want to see that their knowledge is being used as well as improving the environment along with that.
So if you want to go out and know about these programs, they have a website, and then DOE has a website on the EcoCar program. And like I said, so you can have universities in your district, if they want to get into a program like this, they can sign up for it. There are some commitments in there. You go and meet around different places in the country, and you're being evaluated each year.
Yep, we're judged each year. We just got done. We were in Arizona, Arizona at the General Motors Proving Grounds in May, and then we went to California, and that was when year 2 competition was, so you're just judged on what we did last year, and we actually won 1st place. So So that was great. We won 11 awards and about $18,000 that can be used to fund this year.
Now this year, this 3-year plan is electric.
Plug-in hybrid. Yep.
Now, is it always been electric plug-in type hybrid, or do you do other fuel types?
Some schools, you're allowed to do whatever fuel types you want. Some schools do hydrogen, we choose to do electric.
And in the past, there's been, like each 3-year competition. Yep. Yeah. So we have those. Yeah, we have those past vehicles that, like, for the competitions at our school. But each year they kind of focus on something different. So with EcoCard Free, that's what it's called. It might focus on something completely different.
Reuse are the, I guess, the discarded oils, like French fry oil and that kind of stuff.
Well, that would be biodiesel. They did do biodiesel the last time. I actually rode in it. It had a 60-mile range, and they were using. They were having trouble getting biodiesel in the area. But I went up and driven in.
Yeah, we drive that one a lot. We actually, we drive
Muffler
around.
needs fixed on it.
It's slow. Yeah.
But no, but it is so. It's something that for your universities in your district, if they're interested, please let them get
Well, the other unique thing also about today, we've got a group of students here from one of our current technical centers.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't.
And they're looking and learning now, I guess, the energy production side of things, but the reuse opportunities and technologies tied to that. They would be great for the share some time here.
Maybe we'll have them come over and give them those things.
Yeah, definitely. It was,
Before they leave.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice to see the students walking here. Kind of a different perspective, when it's actually we have all undergrads. We only have about 3 graduate students, so all these undergrads are working. We go to training sessions, things like that. So they're starting from the ground level, working their way up. So.
And just for your information, that's good.
Okay.
Just for your information.